Riley, what are we talking about today?
Uh, Kind of an interesting topic today. We're talking about small safes. Um, you know, and we're going to talk about small gun safes primarily,
Yeah. Aren't you?
which is a little bit of a confusing topic, but I think probably the right route to go from this is closet safes, is what I would think, just because, in the safe industry, there's kind of standardized dimensions, right? You see 25 cubic foot safes that are 60 by 30, but typically they're a little bit deeper than really fitting something in a closet. You're going to be 24 and a half to 27 and a half inches of depth, or even deeper, or shallower. As far as 40 cubic foot safes, you see 66 by 36, and then 50 cubic foot safes, you see 72 by 42, right? Those are kind of the three dimensions you must clock in the safe industry. And they're really not designed for a lot of like standard small closets. So today we're going to be talking about safes that are 22 inches or less in depth, really, is what I think, and I think sub 30 inches wide. And a lot of these will be, there'll be models that can be 25 and 40 and 50 cubic foot safes, but there's just not a lot made in that size, right? Somebody comes into our showroom and they're looking at a safe and they're looking at something that's in those standardized dimensions. We have, 12 safes in each of those sizes to choose from. Here, you're going to be confined to 4 or 5 safes is really all that there is to look at.
Yeah. It just seems like when it comes to a quality compact safe, there's almost less options than what there was 30 years ago. I mean, Liberty used to build a 24-inch wide by 20-inch deep safe in almost every single size they offered.
Yeah.
You can get a 3/16 body one, or you get, an 11 or 12 gauge. And now basically, well, just recently, the past couple of years, right, they released the premium home safe. So we got a good 10 gauge, 12 gauge, or 10 gauge body home safe or compact safe. But before that, it was basically Centurion.
18, 12.
And that was it. Centurion 12, yeah. So
Yeah, there's just not a lot out there. So this is kind of a really niche dimension that we're going to tackle.
it's tough when people walk in because being in the industry, like the idea of when someone says a small safe, like a lot of times what we're thinking doesn't match up with somebody else. Just like, we have people tell us they have a huge safe in their house and they think, oh, is it like a 72 by 50? And it's a 30-inch wide.
It's a wide safe.
A typical gun safe that you see, which we would call a small safe.
Yeah, we would call this a small safe. So, and even going back to that, the premium home 17 that you referred to, if you're using it for a closet safe and you want a vast majority of gun safe storage, it's actually not a great option for you. It's a great option if you want to store 1 or 2 long rifles. But it's more of, in terms of closet realm safe, it was more just on sake.
Yeah, I think you can get a custom rack in there. Or, you can use rifle rods, but you're going to lose all your shelling space underneath there. When people are looking for a small safe, I think for a lot of times they're making a mistake. Because the biggest thing we see in our industry is the one regret people have is, I wish I would have bought bigger.
And they're the same money.
Yeah.
I mean, for the most part, if you get a closet safe, if you could have fit a 25 cubic foot safe, you're spending, within it 5% to go to that 25 cubic foot safe. You get a light product.
Yeah. I mean, typically when people come in looking for a 24-inch wide safe, unless they have a cubby or like an area that's built out that a 24-inch wide safe slides in perfectly, I typically try to talk them out of it. I think it's too small. If you're someone that has, you're storing a few long guns, 3 to 5 long guns, you take a 30-inch wide safe and split that 50-50, depending on the long guns that you have, 5 can be a tough squeeze, even though cutouts say that it holds 50. You all know that's not true.
Yep.
Just we try to find the right size for people, and I think people all too often are buying too small.
So if they do need that cubby size, what's your good, better, best? If somebody comes in here and says, hey, I have a space that's 24 inches wide and I only have 22 inches of depth, what's your 3 picks?
3 picks I would show somebody. I think first would be your Challenger 15. 12 gauge body safe, so it's not super like the 14 gauge models that you see out there, even though it's kind of in a similar price point.
Yeah.
It's got the best electronic lock at its price point by far. We're big S&G fans here, both mechanical and the electronic lock. It's what we use on pretty much all of our office safes.
Yep.
And then personally, most of us have S&G dot locks on our safes. Plate steel door, really rigid frame, not like decent fire protection. I think in terms of a 60-minute fire rated safe, Liberty's great. If fire protection is your main concern, you probably want to go with Liberty. But just in terms of if you want a tough little compact safe with a good, reliable electronic lock, that's a great option. Then we're going to jump up to the Liberty Premium Home.
Yep.
So, a little bit heavier body, 10 gauge, a true legitimate 2-hour fire test in there, or 2-hour fire rating. And then you can kind of work around, I don't know. I've talked with Liberty before about actually putting a typical gun safe interior in there. We just haven't done it yet, but I'm pretty sure they can do it. And then after that, I typically take somebody to a BFX 6024.
Yeah.
Because that's the 24-inch wide 2 gauge safe from Liberty. That's where they comp out at. You can't go a step above there.
Yeah.
Again, we get into the BFXs and then the Fort Knox's.
Yeah, Fort Knox's. Yeah. I think that's a great tree pick. You hear me out. Love the Challenger for the money. That safe for around $1,000 currently. It's one of the toughest safes you can buy. That most of us, not all, a good 50% of us have BFXs in our home. That's one of the best safes you can buy. And yeah, if you're for true value, looking at a Fort Knox, but a good step to take if you want something with ballistic steel or stainless steel or.
Well, I can think, for the price point, a Maverick 6024, or if you can go a little wider, 6026.
Yeah.
If you wanted to, let's say you looked at the Liberty interior and it just didn't work for you, or
that could
like about it, or you just wanted more options. You want to go with a left, especially in the closet. Something else to think about is which way do you want this hinge?
Yeah.
You want it right or left? And a lot of times, I like hinging something. If you're next to a wall, I like to hinge the safe to swing towards the wall. Because in that way you have, basically an open area to your opposite side, where you can put a shelf. Because you gotta remember, when you're using a safe, it's kind of like a refrigerator. Taking stuff out of the fridge, look for something, throwing it on the counter. You kind of want that same setup for your safe. You want to have a place to set what you're going to put in there or take out, and not be cramped between your door and the wall.
For sure.
So, yeah, think about door swing. And, yeah, so I think a Maverick, if the Liberty Premium Home in that, middle spot does work for you, and if you want more security than a BFX, add some liners to what? Something like a
you would
protector, or
you could do a protector. I mean, even at a 60 by 24, I mean, technically they don't offer a Titan, but they'll build you a Titan.
Yeah.
You just gotta send in a couple extra bucks than a traditional built safe, but they'll build you whatever dimension you want. But yeah, I mean, you could do something like a Bull Maverick, right, where you do the traditional Maverick and add a layer of AR500, or you could do a protector so you get that fire insulation off the bat. Yeah, with them you can do, whatever you want.
Yeah. So I guess a recommendation is, if you're looking for a small safe, only buy one if you have a 24-inch cubby to put in there. If not, I would really recommend going wider.
At least get a 25 cubic foot safe, because you're going to spend the same amount of money.
Yeah.
I mean, within a couple of points.
Yep.
It's going to be very, very similar. But I agree with that.
Yeah. Well, is that it?
I think that was a good, better, best.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, mark them below and we'll get to them. Appreciate it.